The Zorathi Dominion had always believed themselves unassailable. Their fleet spanned dozens of sectors, their influence carved across trade routes and council chambers alike. And so, when whispers reached them of a new species from the Sol Cradle, humans, as they called themselves, the Dominion laughed. Primitive, unaligned, loud with talk of peace, yet fragile in their numbers. The Dominion's warlord councils saw them as little more than interstellar vermin, unworthy of treaty or recognition. And then came Caro's Reach, a human colony, a mining world on the edge of contested space, a speck of dust compared to the Dominion's sprawling empire. When the Zorathi fleets arrived, their commanders broadcast openly, not merely to the human defenders, but to every nearby listening post. Observe well, Galaxy. This is what becomes of vermin who think they belong among the stars. The orbital bombardment was not swift. It was drawn out. Precision strikes crippled water reserves, power grids, and civilian shelters. Atmospheric processors were shattered, leaving choking storms of ash. The Dominion wanted to savor the cries, to demonstrate their dominance. Shuttles descended carrying armored troops. Families were dragged from their homes, herded like cattle, executed for spectacle. One final act of arrogance sealed their message. The public broadcast execution of the human governor and his staff. Faces projected across the network with Dominion officers sneering into the lens. The Galaxy saw, and most turned away, muttering that the humans were reckless to build so near to Zorathi borders. Few believed Earth would answer. The Dominion believed even less. A toast to silence. In the aftermath, Zorathi fleets lingered in orbit, feasting in weightless banquet halls while the planet burned below. Captains exchanged toasts of victory. Their warlord's voice echoed through the celebration. The humans are soft. They bark of honor and treaties but bleed like every lesser species. Let their silence remind us, Earth dares not answer. Silence, that was the key. No human fleets arrived. No ambassadors stormed the councils of the galaxy. No threats rattled through Dominion networks. The humans remained utterly, terrifyingly quiet. To the Dominion, that silence was proof of weakness, proof that the humans, like so many before them, had learned their place. But not all were convinced. Some neighboring species whispered uneasily. Why so quiet? Not even pleas for help? Not even diplomatic outrage? The Dominion scoffed. Silence was submission, nothing more. They did not understand that silence can also be the pause before the storm. The ghosts. Stirrit began with flickers on long-range scanners, faint distortions, vanishing before Dominion technicians could lock coordinates. Whole patrol squadrons failed to report, dismissed as accidents or desertions. Then came the merchant lanes. Convoys loyal to the Dominion vanished without distress signals, their last sensor feeds showing only shadows, vast shapes moving against the stars, dark hulls swallowing light. Rumors spread faster than the Dominion could suppress them. Ghost ships had come. Silent, massive, nameless. The Zorathi dismissed it as frontier superstition. But on the Council of 10, one admiral's voice cracked with unease. What if it is the humans? Laughter drowned him out. Humanity had no fleets, no dreadnoughts, no history of war at this scale. Their colonies were fragile outposts. Their ships, civilian craft barely armed, and yet, silence persisted. Earth made no protests, no declarations, no signals at all. The void remained deaf until one night. Across every Dominion channel, across every occupied system, a transmission slipped past firewalls and encryptions alike. A voice, human, calm, cold. Your silence ends tonight. And then, darkness. Entire Dominion sectors blacked out as human cyber warriors shredded communications, leaving only static. The galaxy realized then, the humans had not been silent out of fear. They had been building something in the dark. The silence shatters. The first fleet appeared above Vorith Prime, the Dominion's most fortified shipyard. Witnesses described it in whispers, for even the recordings faltered against the sheer scale. They were not fleets as the galaxy understood them. They were armadas of specters, hulls black as voidstone, edges shrouded in cloaks of shifting light. They emitted no signals, no life signs, not even engine signatures until the moment they struck. Vorith Prime's defense grid locked on too late. The human armada unleashed a storm of kinetic fire, slugs moving at a fraction below light speed, tearing through orbital platforms like paper. Plasma lances ignited hangars before fighters could launch, and at the heart of the storm, dreadnoughts larger than anything the Dominion had fielded in centuries emerged, their hulls scarred and jagged as if risen from tombs. The Dominion screamed, "Where did they come from?" But the galaxy already knew the whispered answer. The humans had never wasted their silence. They had resurrected relics, old Earth war machines, once mothballed, buried, forgotten, hidden in asteroid vaults and lunar caverns, ships older than the Dominion itself, upgraded with terrifying new technologies, ghost armadas, once history, now reality. The tide of retribution, the Zorathi war machine reeled. Orders screamed across fractured networks, but their fleets were scattered, unprepared. The humans advanced like wraiths. Entire armadas emerged from the void without warning, each strike precise, merciless. On the world of Kareth, Dominion governors awoke to the sound of orbital bombardments that did not miss civilians, for humans remembered Caro's reach. They targeted only the garrisons, the command centers, the fuel depots. Precision vengeance. On the trade hub of Velkar, Dominion soldiers reported seeing thousands of dropships descending like a storm, their hulls shimmering with adaptive camouflage. Human marines poured forth, armored, silent, methodical. They carried no banners, no war cries, only cold efficiency. Entire garrisons surrendered before a shot was fired, unnerved by the silence of their executioners. The Dominion tried counterattacks. Entire battle groups moved to cut off human advances. None returned. Later, fragments of blackened Dominion ships drifted across sectors, hulks gutted, crews gone. The galaxy began to whisper, "The humans have become shadows. Their fleets are ghosts. Their vengeance is infinite." The moment of reckoning at last, the Dominion gathered its grand fleet, 2,000 warships, dreadnoughts at the core, the most massive force assembled in centuries. They swore to end the human retaliation in one decisive blow. The battle took place in the Scath Expanse, a barren system of dead suns and shattered moons. The Dominion arrived in glory. Rows upon rows of warships filled the void, weapons charged, banners streaming through tactical hollows. And then, the stars themselves went dark. From every angle, the human ghost armadas emerged, hulls black, unlit, larger than legends, moving in perfect silence. For every Dominion dreadnought, 2 human phantoms answered. For every line of frigates, waves of shadowed corvettes encircled. The Dominion admiral screamed to open fire. The void exploded with energy beams and plasma storms, yet most hit nothing. Human ships flickered out of targeting arrays, cloaks scattering sensor locks. Then the retaliation began. Imagine suns shattering. Imagine entire moons ripped apart to become kinetic weapons. Imagine dreadnoughts splitting in half from a single rail strike, their cores igniting in nuclear blossoms. The Zorathi fought with fury, but the humans fought with vengeance. Every maneuver was precise. Every strike remembered Caro's reach. The battle lasted less than 3 hours. When it ended, the expanse was silent, littered only with drifting wreckage and the echoes of annihilation. The Dominion fleet was no more, and across the galaxy, a single transmission was broadcast, untraceable, undeniable. This was only the beginning. Earth does not forgive. Ashes and silence. The Dominion crumbled in months. Worlds defected, swearing loyalty to Earth rather than suffer retaliation. Others simply fell silent. Their leaders vanished, their fleets gone. The humans did not occupy. They did not conquer. They struck, dismantled, and vanished again into the void. Their armadas were shadows, appearing, destroying, then fading like ghosts. Soon, no one doubted, the silence had ended, and in its place came eternal fear. Across council chambers and trade routes, species whispered carefully, "Never provoke Earth." They waited, they watched, and when they answered with ghosts. The lesson was etched into galactic memory, as enduring as the ruins of the Dominion itself. Humanity's patience is vast, but their vengeance is infinite, and in the silent stretches of the void, where stars tremble under unseen engines, the galaxy still wonders, when the ghost armadas vanish again, will they ever truly sleep?